Hey everyone, Senrai here. Today I'm going to be watching the sixth episode of 16-Bit Sensation Layer Another. I think I nailed it. But yeah, last episode we got a bit of an expansion on our company. We have Kiki Lala, most importantly. They are the real highlight of the new structure of the company. So that's great. But we also have I think a console port in the works, so we're gonna kind of see where that goes. You know, the one guy that showed up, what his deal is, maybe do some investigation on him. So a lot to delve into in this episode for sure. You know, I do want to mention real quick one other thing that I found funny about the whole VTuber impression thing. I mean, because there was a couple things I forgot to mention. You know, one of which because it's probably obvious, but they had no idea what she was saying. They don't know what a VTuber is. They don't know what Super Chat is. They don't know what a YouTube is. They don't just imagining what was going through their heads as she just spewed this gibberish to them. Just it's funny to think about. But there was that. But more importantly, there's one other thing that I wanted to touch on. Oh yeah, because the voice actress herself is already doing a cutesy anime character kind of voice because she's voicing a cute anime character. When she transitions over to trying to sound like a VTuber, it doesn't sound that different. So, you know, there was also an extra layer of comedy to it on that basis. But so I just want to mention that real quick, because I did find that funny too. But also, I did notice, this is more of a meta thing, but I did notice that another reaction channel on YouTube that's reacting to this show put a visual novel reader in the title. And I probably should have done that. I have read around 100 visual novels, so I probably earned the right to put that in the title. I just didn't think about it, and if I did that now, I would just be a copycat, so I can't exactly do that now. But, you know, it feels less like a qualification over what people do, like doctor reacts to Hataraku Saibo, you know, or psychologist reacts to Neon Genesis Evangelion, you know. I don't have a degree in visual novel. If there's a way to get one, just let me know, but yeah, as a result, it feels a little bit more silly to do it, but I would still do it. But anyway, I am curious to see what we're gonna do with this episode, so let's just kind of jump on in. So, as always, you know, support the channel if you can, and click the like button, Patreon, access to cooperate cursor, picture-in-picture version through there and stuff like that. So yeah, let us jump in 3, 2, 1, play. I definitely nailed the intro, that's for sure. That's what I've heard. Are we gonna check that out? I would love to check that out. We need to check that out. Yeah, isn't she doing janitor work or something? And yet, I am being Detective Konoha. Kogyaru Club, okay. I'm kind of a big deal, guys. Why am I doing this? I mean, she has detective work experience. That's kind of harsh, but I mean, it's not wrong. You got nothing better to do. Go do it. Oh, you don't see her look angry very often. Yeah, Code Gyaru Club. Gyaru is obviously for girl, you know, Gyaru. Ko, I guess it's just Ko as in girl itself. You know how a lot of character names will end with a Ko, like Tomoko. It's kind of a stereotypical name ender for a female name. So that's probably the same kind of Ko it's using for that. Just at the beginning, you know, I assume. Either way, very girly, girl-focused sounding name. That's for sure. We need more of her. I feel like she's gonna come back this episode. Bama, bama. Bama, bama. Bama, bama. Bama, bama. Start. What is a PM's answer? Oh yeah, they actually are talking about the Y2K. I did bring that up too, so that's great. That's life for you. She's alright. Yeah, the curse of the console. The worst kind of work you can do, honestly. Making your game worse so it can be on console. It hurts me in the soul. Yeah, it's kind of just disgusting to think about. I guess it could technically be a Shoujo game without the arrow, but it can never be an arrow game without the arrow. Come over to Kogyaru Club. You'll have a great time. There's probably more lurking beneath the shadows. So weird seeing him so much older. Just make Google real quick. I actually don't remember when Google was made. Ironically, I almost want to Google that. When was Google made, Google? Just act natural. They just stare at the hand holding. He looks the part. Nah, ha ha ha. Definitely a character. I mean, I don't disagree. I mean, some of them do. I mean, Clannad might be the most famous example of an arrow get turned into anime. But a lot of key stuff does in general. In Grisai, I got one a little. I don't think I watched it. Grisai no Kaijutsu. Haha. We are talking about Kanon, which did get an anime. I think got two because I watched it 2006 for. I watched the version I watched had 2006 at the end of it, so I assume there was one that came out before that. So it probably came out around this time, yeah. I'm so glad I do not have that kind of crappy phone. I do like her referring to herself in the third person. Oh, do we have somebody searching for money? Can I help you? Yeah, don't get distracted. You have a job to do. That is definitely unnecessary. Unless you want to raise a flag or something. You'll survive without it. Go away. The secret technique of using something longer to get it. You know, you could have done it yourself, kid. Just stay in school, study. Is that the girl? I mean, her hair is different, but I guess that's her. But I was right. She is in the episode. I told you. You can't remember. You can't not remember her after that. Like, she looks a little bit different, but not that different. Like, she literally just changed the hair, mostly. Nice. Living the dream. I think we're getting some attention. You did everything. At this point, I'd say she's completed her route. So more change in the past by our time traveler here. So it is more than just my motive that she's had an effect on people that have influence, you know? So that could definitely make another big change on the Arrogate world. Okay, that took a turn. But I mean, if you're happy, good for you. Oh yeah, we have a job to do, don't we? We should probably go do that. Well, you just lost Onesama. I can't go into such a place. You'll be fine. I'm not getting paid enough for this. Tamagotchi. I mean, Tamagotchi. I mispronounced it when I was a kid because I didn't know Japanese, but it's Tamagotchi. I mean, it can be. Depends what you're into. Ona does it. Should I? Do I have to? Imagine bragging about what a big shot you're gonna be someday. How dare they? Everything is yabe at the end of the day. Money, huh? I'd say artists deserve a lot of credits. And we even talked earlier about how important the art is to a Bishoujo game. It's like, did we do a good job for her? I don't know. I mean, she left. She seemed happy enough. So we did record it. Okay. Well, boy, is that awkward. As we show artists. You can't break out the drunk excuse. Because it sounds like bribery to me. It does kind of sound like this is kind of what it sounds like. Yeah, like, how much money are we talking? That's kind of important. Like, it's probably not worth it. You did bad, manager. You know, the thing that keeps a company afloat? There would be no business without the product, you idiot. Never heard of it. Oh, damn. That is a fairly big deal. Yeah, that sounds about right, honestly. 3 billion yen. So, how you feeling now? Fire Dragon. Yeah, where does that leave us? Anything to say about yourself now? We're in the denial phase. It's not a good day for us. She really should be in charge of this company. 1 billion. 1 billion, he said. Oh my god. That is, even yen, that is ridiculous. You could do so much with that kind of money. What an idiot. What an idiot. It's hard to come back from that. Like, I don't even know what you do. Even if you're a successful company, like... Konoha, time travel and win the lottery for us. Don't say that, even if it's true. Don't. If only. Like, he was in a good spot, he just had to ruin it for himself. I mean, there was plenty of suspicious stuff around there, around this whole thing. I wouldn't. That's just me. Yeah, I'm not sure where that leaves us. Just... We're just gonna be like an indie, set up an indie studio. Because you could technically just make an aerogam from your garage, just from your personal computer, especially if you're an artist, you know, just learn it. Because you don't have to know that much programming to make a, you know, like a visual novel. You know, not compared to like some other things. So if you're already a good artist, yeah, you can make things yourself. Because I'm trying to think, what else would you need besides an artist and a programmer to make an aerogam? Like, I don't think you need anything else. Like, because there's, you know, royalty-free music, you know, you could use. I've definitely played multiplayer game that have certain soundtracks that I'm like, hey, I heard that from that other one. Like, I think Monster Girl Quest had some soundtracks I've heard in other places. And a visual novel era game does not have to have voice acting, especially back then. I'm actually not sure when it became common. Because the Rance games don't have voice acting except for in Rance 03, the 3 remake. Which I definitely appreciated it in that game, but... And even though it definitely enhances the game, it's not required. So, Konoha, I mean, what do we do next? How much time do we have left? Oh, more than I thought. Damn, okay. I did think it ended a little bit early. Yeah, definitely want to know more than at least Mamoru. Not really. Although it was not an accurate translation. I mean, she's a time traveler. Maybe she could go back and stop this. That's actually a good point. If she doesn't know who he is, he's obviously not going to be a big deal. God damn, this is a depressing end of an episode. Everyone loves alcohol deep down. Man, it was just last episode. This place was so lively and happy and kiki lala and just no. But Konoha doesn't look like he's gonna give up. Gonna smack him. Like I said, all you need is an artist and a programmer. You can make something. Yeah, that. Powers. Like, imagine you get that modern art in some old school game. I mean, I wouldn't say that. Like, it's... Yeah. Especially if you get into, like, merchandising and stuff. Sure. Surely that got through to you, Mamoru. I think it did. Okay, yeah, we definitely got him. Okay. I thought there'd be a little bit more resistance. But yeah, let's go. No, no. You know, it almost sounded like they were talking about making a baby at certain points. Every storm hardens the earth. Okay. Okay. That was the 6th episode of 16-Bit Sensation, Another Layer. I nailed the title that time, mostly because I read it. But yeah, this episode was certainly an eventful one, an impactful one, an important one. You know, we can definitely agree on that, I think. But yeah, we got to see Konoha be stealthy Konoha, wanting to see what the manager's up to and all that. But also, we talked about the Y2K, which I'm glad that was brought up. Because, like, obviously I was, like, 9 or so at the time, so my memory's a little bit fuzzy on kind of, like, what was on the news and stuff about it. I just heard, like, family members bring it up here and there, right? So, it would be interesting to be old enough to really remember in detail all the discussion and stuff around that. But, nothing really too much came of that. It was just a bit of a thing early on. But then we got into the actual console port stuff. You know, Kaori being like, now we just need to swap out the hentai scenes for cute ones. That's really what a console port boils down to. I mean, I talked about this before, yeah, last episode, but yeah, they take out those important scenes, and because they don't want you to feel like you're getting completely shafted by buying the console version, they add new scenes that are, that are fun but not 18 plus to put it in. But like I said before, that makes it where there's no true definitive version anymore unless hackers get involved and they take those scenes from the console version and insert them into the PC version, so you have those cute extra scenes as well as the 18 plus scenes. And then you have a true definitive version, which is unofficial in the main company, especially a Japanese company, because they're very Japanese companies are very controlling, right? They don't want you just to enjoy the product; they want you to enjoy the product the right way, right? So Nintendo, a good example of this for sure. But so yeah, they would never approve of that sort of thing the same way like Western companies often do. But like modding in general is a good example of that. Some companies don't like mods because you're enjoying their game the wrong way, right? Like people look at that and think that's what's in the actual game, just because they really lose control when people are able to mod and hack and stuff like that. And Japanese companies especially are not a big fan of that. But anyway, so yeah, just that's why I'm not a big fan of console ports. Like I don't think I've ever actually played a console port of an Arrow game. Like I don't think so, because I know Summer Pockets had a Switch version, but I obviously played the PC version. I never actually finished it. I probably should do that at some point. I got like 90% through it, but maybe someday. But yeah, just like because I commented on it in the episode, but it's like you're actively making your game worse. Like you're putting in effort to make your game worse so it can be on another device. Like just the whole concept of that just rubs me the wrong way on a fundamental level. Just putting in work to make your product worse. Just like I know it's technically a subjective thing, but like I couldn't bring myself to do that. I just couldn't. That's why I just like because just imagine if it's your job to censor things. Like how do you live with yourself? But anyway, moving on from that bit. We what is the next thing I wanted to talk about? Oh yeah, we got to run into Toya. Thank you. Can't believe I keep forgetting her name. Toya. So she looks quite different. I guess she's cosplaying. Fair enough. Because I saw her, my first thought was, hey, it's Toya. Then I'm like, wait, is it Toya? She looks kind of different. Maybe it's not her after all. Maybe I jumped the gun because I was already expecting her to be in this episode. But no, we clarified it is indeed Toya. Looking a little bit different, but she looks fine. Right? So she still calls her own name. Sama very much appreciates her, and she's now like involved in the Arrowgate company and all that. So things are definitely looking forward to that. But it also seems to be somewhat going to her head. Like what was the line she had here? yeah, men are such simple creatures. And as she says that, she has kind of a like a narrow look in her eyes and stuff like that, right? So you can definitely tell it's having a real effect on her. So yeah, hopefully it doesn't change her too much, but definitely a bit of a glimpse of some darker stuff in that Headiverse. But we didn't delve too much into that before she had to go to the club herself, which was funny because she's there, you know, in between a couple of Gyadus, trying to have a good time. And they're just like, why are you here? Is this really a place a girl wants to come for fun? And of course, some would, but definitely would be the minority for sure. But yeah, she wasn't really drinking there. She wasn't really, you know, enjoying the female company. She was just spying on someone else, you know, kind of definitely enjoying it the wrong way in that case. But yeah, then we saw our manager just go off on a whole just rant, basically just tell us how you really feel, sort of thing, you know. Very much. Speaking of going to his head, the success of his company definitely has gone to his head for sure, and kind of caused him to screw himself over. You know, get sucked in by the deceptions of a scammer, a swindler, and lose all that money and lose respect of his employees and just essentially lose everything. Can't really blame him for ending up in the hospital after all of that. But yeah, the scene where we confront him over it, the scene very much had very intentional dark lighting to it to really set the mood, set the atmosphere. Because up till now, the show's for the most part been very fun and lighthearted, but this was a tone shift because this was very much a shift of things. The company's basically done for, like, because I was thinking we could just have because the employees themselves, they're not in debt, you know, unless you own the company, the debt doesn't affect you. You can just wash your hands of it and start an indie company, fresh, you know, clean slate, which is what I figured we would do. But then when we had that scene where Mamoru and Konoha were talking about it, they were talking about the debt and all that and overcoming it, but I'm like, I guess if it's his father, I guess it still affects him. I mean, but I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to go for this. I guess we are maybe just going to try to recover the company itself instead of starting over with a new one. I guess that's the plan, and I don't know. But that's not how I would do it, but we'll see how things go. But just such a depressing episode at a certain point, man. Just, again, especially because last episode we were in such high spirits, we were expanding, we had so much staff, everyone was having fun, we were successful, and then a greedy corporate overlord kind of got in the way and just messed everything up. So, very quite sad, but, you know, we're not done. Like, we pretty much got Mamoru-kun to agree to help Konoha make the game of her dreams, and that's going to sell like 1 million copies, and we're going to be back in business, baby. That's pretty much how things will go, I think. But, yeah, it was definitely great getting that sort of impassioned speech from Konoha, right? Like, her voice actress is so good. Like, she could really just squeeze that voice in her yelling, for lack of a better term. Like, when she really wants to get her point across that she's passionate about to someone, she does a pretty good job of it. But I don't think anyone besides her could have convinced Mamoru-kun to do this, you know, because he's been anti-arrogant since the show started, right? So getting to this point, very impressive for Konoha, what she's managed to achieve. You know, when she goes beast mode. I think Muso was the word they translated to that. I'm trying to listen to it closely. Yeah, Muso. I'm going to look that up real quick in a dictionary. Okay, so I tried to look up Muso in a Japanese dictionary. I mean, one of them just says dream, vision. That's probably not the one it's referring to, but there's the other Muso, which gives a couple definitions. Peerless, unparalleled, matchless, but then there's one below, which is like supposed to be more slangy one, that says mowing down the enemy. Is that the one that's referring to? Like beast mode, I guess that could refer to that. Just whenever I see like a really liberal translation of a word I'm not familiar with, I do kind of feel compelled to look up the more literal definition. And that's probably what's more or less referring to. But either way, yeah, just going hard on it, you know, like berserker mode, beast mode. Like I guess I do kind of get what you're trying to say, you know. But so yeah. Either way, if it's modern slang, he's not gonna know what it means, which I always enjoy those little bits in the show. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say about the episode. Like, this is kind of a, I mean, this was literally halfway through the show, right? Episode 6, so definitely the midpoint. And we had Konoha talk a little bit about, you know, how she was afraid to change the past, and she's not so much anymore, right? Like, one thing about time travel stories, you do often have the time traveler, you know, accidentally change something and then try to fix it and all that, because you can't be changing the future like that. I kind of like it better when we change the past and we just like keep it that way. You know, like it's just more interesting that way. Like, because so many stories it's like, oh, something bad happened, I want to change the past and make it better, but oh no, I made things worse, now I got to go back again and fix what I did and make it the way it's supposed to be. I'd rather just have a story once in a while that's just like, no, this sucks, I went back and changed it, it's better now, job well done, me. Like, I feel like we could use a bit more of that. Like, I know why stories do it the other way more often than not, you know, because it comes down to just like trying to have a moral of the story, where just sometimes you just gotta be okay with how things are in life, and just even if you could change it, maybe you shouldn't, maybe it was always meant to be this way, you know, just kind of the same reason why a lot of shows will make it impossible to bring someone back to life, you know, like Fullmetal Alchemist, because obviously you can't do that in real life. It's all comes down to just trying to make you content, you know, okay with just the way things are, just make the best of it from here, right? But still, fiction is fiction, and sometimes I just want different things in my fiction. It's kind of what I'm trying to say. But anyway, a little bit, went a little bit of a tangent there, but that's pretty much all I have to say. So yeah, really enjoying the show still. Really looking forward to how things go from here. So thank you for watching, and hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.